Oh, how lovely. What next? There is water spouting out of the shutoff valve next to the toilet that doesn't exist, and the entire floor is sopping wet. What the hell?
And the epilogue to day 5 was that after everybody left and the floor had been done at that point, and the old toilet had been taken out downstairs. Most of the tiling was finished in the tub except around the window because I have to buy different pieces for that. So we were very close to having everything done. That night, I went to sleep, and it looked as if everything that could be done was done until the weekend was over, and he was coming back on Monday to do as much of the finishing as he could. I still had a few things to do. I had to go buy paint. I still have to pick up the trim for the window because we needed a wider bullnose trim. So again, having done as much as we could possibly do, the rest of it was left to me and to what I was able to accomplish. I got up this morning, this being Saturday morning, and I walked past the bathroom to let my dogs out, and I see water. It looked like it was sizzling up from the floor. And I had to do a double take. At first I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. How I wish. Unfortunately, not at all. The issue that I had was that water's coming from somewhere. My first thought was I used the toilet upstairs and that maybe when I flushed it that did something. But no, it wasn't that, because there was nothing coming down the sheetrock from upstairs. There was nothing that stained the ceiling, so all of that seemed okay. Then I took a closer look, and the valve, the shutoff valve for the toilet downstairs, I saw water coming up like a little mini geyser out of that, and it was just spraying all over. If you can picture when we were all kids, if you ever went to a park or any place where they had the water sprays that kids would love to run under, picture that on a very, very mini scale, and that's what I had down there. Now, because he had laid the tile late in the day before, the thing was not to walk on it. You couldn't walk on the tile. Well, this was soaked tile, so I didn't know what was going to happen with it. I had no clue. We had a real problem, so I texted the contractor. He didn't get back to me right away. Typically he does, so I called him because I've got water coming down and I don't know what's going on. I take a look at the thing, and finally I called him because he didn't respond, and he said to me, I was just going to call you. He said, you must have a rotten valve. Well, so far everything I have seems to be rotten, according to him. So he said to me, just go in there and turn the valve off. I said, I thought I'm not supposed to walk on the floor. And he said, the floor is fine. He said it was put in with cement. It's long dry. And I thought, how could it be long dry? Because it's been soaked for I don't know how long. But I did go in there, and he said to me, you might need a wrench. I don't have a wrench to tighten the valve. Well, I didn't need a wrench. The valve wasn't tight. So I went and tightened the valve as much as I could do it manually. I didn't want to force it because I was afraid the whole pipe would now burst and I'd have water gushing everywhere. So I stopped at what I could do, and it was no longer bubbling up out of the top, out of the hole, but what it was doing was it was coming out of the bottom. It was dripping. So I put a bowl under it because I couldn't put anything too tall there. The space doesn't accommodate it. So I realized after the bowl filled, it took about an hour for the bowl to fill up. and then I had water running all over again. So I went down to my basement to take a look and see if I had a pail or something, a deeper bowl that would go under there that I could use to let the water fill up so that it would be longer period of time between checking it. I went downstairs to find that my basement was flooded in that area. And I said, oh dear God, what next? So now I had to find a bucket downstairs, and I had to start to mop the downstairs that had water all over it. Under the beams were dripping water. What damage was being done to my beams? I had so many concerns. So I did all of that, did as much as I could, and came upstairs, and I contacted him again. I said, you have to check, because he told me he would be there Monday afternoon. I said, you can't let this go the whole weekend. Something's wrong here. And I cannot check on this every hour. I said, I won't be able to sleep. I can't get up every hour on the hour. Otherwise, I'm going to have a flood again and do more damage to everything. So he told me not to worry about the tile because they would have loved the bath, his words. And so I did tell him, you really need to check this. He had told me at that point he would check it sometime this afternoon. And he just called me a few minutes ago to tell me that he will in fact be here soon. He's on his way. All I want him to do is stop the water until they can get here, whenever they get here on Monday. And I have to seriously rethink what I'm going to do for the bathroom upstairs, because this has been a nightmare. I'm praying that in the end the bathroom will still have been worth it, that I will love what I have, that I'll be happy with it, but it's a hell of a way to go with lots and lots of issues along the way. So just told you I'd keep you all abreast of what happened. I did do a very short 20-second video of when I first discovered the water coming up. So I don't know if they'll bleep my foul language, but I'll attach it here. Have a great day.